Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another classic WoW video. My name is Kargoz, and today I'm going to try something new and different for the channel. It's been a while since I've just made kind of like positive, more chill, like guide type videos for vanilla WoW, and I know there's not a huge like market, so to speak, for it, but I do love this game, and I want to continue to make content for vanilla WoW, even if it's just a few people who enjoy it. So just to start doing some lighthearted videos that are easy for me to do and can serve as kind of love letters to my favorite game. So my idea is to start just doing like zone knowledge dumps, and I'm going to take a zone. Maybe we start with the zones that a lot of people don't like. That's why I had the idea to start with Westfall, and this is going to be a mixture of just appreciating both like the music, the ambience, the artistic side of the zone, as well as just straight up like gameplay. What does this zone bring to the table? Why would you feel compelled to go level in this zone or go here at max level? And just really everything that I can think of about the zone, I'm going to put into one video. And we're just going to kind of explore together, eagle eye around a little bit, and just run around a little bit. So we're going to start with Westfall. And if I miss anything, guys, please put it in the chat below. I'd appreciate it. Just so we can really have a comprehensive thing, and you know, if this works out and you guys enjoy it, we can do a bunch of different zones, and this is easy for me to create this type of content. I can do like one per day type of thing. So we're going to start with Westfall. Westfall is a zone that means a lot to me because it's similar to the Barrens. You know, a lot of us when we were younger, like we got hard stuck in these lower level zones. It felt like we spent an eternity in Westfall or the Barrens or Stone Talon because we weren't very good at the game. We didn't really know what was happening. And I really do think, like, visually speaking, it's a gorgeous zone. It's this kind of like prairie type aesthetic is the only way I could put it, and it feels like there's this ragtag, like a rural alliance presence here. You know, they have like one keep, but everything is kind of like wood buildings and lumberjacks chopping down trees and stuff. I like the aesthetic, and I think it's really cool. But I have noticed that a lot of people just don't like Westfall, mainly because they feel like this zone is inefficient to do, and it's much better to just go to Darkshore, and the you know, the quest arcs are so much better in Darkshore. But I don't agree with that. I think Westfall can be very efficient if you know exactly what you're doing. So maybe we can start from there. Let's start over by Old Blanchy. And we're going to enter Westfall together. So, you know, imagine you're like a level 9, you know, human mage coming over into Westfall for the first time. Like, and you're approaching it. You come across this bridge, the scenery changes. You get this kind of golden prairie type aesthetic. Now, these quests over by Blanchy, very efficient to do. Like, if you know exactly where all the oat spawns are, you can pick them up very quickly. The other one is the nifty, the Pocket Watch quest. That's super easy to do. You can loot it from outside the building. You can just stand right here and then angle your camera so you don't even have to kill Benny Blanco, and you can loot this for Bro's Pocket Watch. So these are pretty efficient quests to do. I also think, like, the look of Harvest Watchers, this is one of the most iconic looking mobs in vanilla. Like, I absolutely love it. It's up there, like this exact site here in the prairie, with Harvest Watchers and the sounds of the little robots. It's really, really up there. It's peak vanilla WoW. It's up there with like the coal car and the Forgotten Oasis type thing for me. The Scarecrows of Westfall, absolutely iconic. The pumpkin patch kind of fall type aesthetic, really nice. But yeah, I think Westfall has a lot to offer. Like, when I see these Harvest Watchers, this is an underappreciated thing about Westfall. Speaking of human mages, here we go. We're on the Mancrick realm right now, on Classic Era. Westfall has a lot of engineering benefits, and this is something like on solo self-found hardcore could really be useful to you, because oftentimes you can just buy stuff off the auction house, right? But these harvest golems drop engineering parts. They'll drop like copper modulators and stuff like that. And then also all across the zone, you will find stuff like this. Let me see if I can get over to the Moonbrook real quick and show you. There's usually one inside this building. But these are all throughout the zone if you know where to look. Similar to like weapon crates in parts of the zone. See right here? This box right here is actually an engineering box. And they have them in dead mines. They have them inside, you know, the outside part of dead mines, throughout the houses. in Moonbrook, all over the place. And they actually contain like bronze level engineering stuff that can be really helpful in creating target dummies and stuff like that. So that's just one recurring theme throughout Westfall, like oil, screws, copper tubes. You'll loot a lot of this stuff from the mobs here and also from the crates here. Now back to just kind of like the efficiency of Westfall. It's a zone that you can. I'd probably just do it in like 2 stages. So I'd come over to Westfall and I'd for the first time. Ideally, you get the note from Elwyn that drops that tells you to go to Sentinel Hill and you turn it in. I forgot what it's called. It's like the deed or something. But you come in here. These quests, even at a really low level, you're able to do at a super low level, and it's pretty efficient. And then you run over. You skip these quests to start. You go to Sentinel Hill. You turn in a good chunk of XP. You get the flight path, and that leads me to another amenity of Westfall. So in the inn here, similar to Horde, Barons on Horde, the innkeeper here actually sells Longjaw Mud Snappers. It's just one of those quirks of vanilla. It's a food that heals for 243. So it's 1 tier up from Tough Jerky and stuff like that, but it's extremely cheap. It's like 20 copper for 5. So I mean, this is when I say this is an amenity, I mean this is a really, really, really good amenity. This is something you want to do on like every Alliance character. You're looking. You know, food progression is a weird concept, but you're looking for the vendor that's going to be able to sell you Longjaw Mud Snapper. So in Alliance, like, you really make use of that. You try to clear out inventory space and buy like 100 of them, because I don't care what class you are, you're going to be able to experience some really good benefit from that food. So that's the Alliance equivalent of it, right? Then you get the flight path, and then you're going to come back later. Like you might you know, pop into Westfall for the first time, then you go do some stuff in Dunmoreau, and then you're in your early teens, and before you go to Darkshore, it is efficient to go to Westfall, and you can do the quests here in an elegant way. I mean, this is another amenity of Westfall as well, the Dust Devils. So, and we're gonna get into this later, but this is why you'd want to come to the zone even at a high level, even at level 60, and that's the beautiful thing about vanilla, right? Like the zones, you know, they matter at all stages of the game. You know. You can come get a magic dust from a dust devil here in Westfall, and it's one of the most powerful consumables you can use in all of vanilla WoW. It's more powerful than Rocket Helm. They're pretty rare. They're pretty expensive. Both Alliance and Horde need them, and they're a somewhat low drop chance from the dust devils here. But make no mistake, they play like a big part in the meta. It's something in high-end PvP that people want to have a couple of, and it's really like a top-shelf consumable that you want to bust out really in a huge, to make a huge play in Warsong, or whatever it might be. So that's just one of the things as a quick aside that I love about vanilla. So I mean, coming into here, like, you know, a kill quest with the golems, you have to get, you know, different animal parts, but if you guys know the feeling of like just like executing a zone really well, really smoothly, if you know what animals to look out for, and you're making sure not to like hard commit to just one, and you're just chipping away at it, like killing a murloc or 2 here, killing a wolf here. You don't actually need the stringy wolf meat, but killing some gore tusks here to get both livers and tusks, you can do Westfall pretty elegantly. And the only downside of Westfall really is that it's over so fast. There's not that many quests here. As far as like cool kind of rare quests, you have Captain Sanders' treasure map. So that drops from, I want to say, any of the murlocs out here. And that's going to give you a quest where it's really good XP if it drops. You have to go out to like this little island. And you know, you have to find these clues around Westfall. I mean, you could just kind of Google it and find them all, but it's a cool quest, and it ends up giving you like a bag and some potions or something like that. It's a fun quest, but it's a rare drop chance as well. But yeah, I mean, the Noel Paw quest is pretty efficient. There used to be actually in Westfall. At some point they took them out. Oh look, a rare spawn, by the way. It's like we're playing Pokemon Snap right now, guys, with Eagle Eye. Slark, just like the Dota hero. It doesn't drop anything too good. I think it drops a green dagger. But we'll get into the rares in Westfall as well. You have Voltros, who drops a 21 dagger, really huge looking carrion bird thing. But back in the day, these murlocs used to drop a net, just a white item net that you could throw at people, and it would root them for like 10 seconds. And obviously that's like really, really strong. So they ended up removing it at some point. Yeah, just a fun little fact. The other thing, while we're on the coast, while we're here, and while we're continuing to play Pokemon Snap, look at the movement speed on that guy. There is a area over here. Yes, right by this dead What even is that, dude? Like a thresher? That's a pretty cool looking sight, though. Come to look at the color palette's nice. Nice over here. But these greater flesh rippers are an amenity for both Alliance and Horde hunters, especially on hardcore or something. This is going to be your first taste of AoE threat on a pet if you're a hunter. So these guys are the lowest level pet that has Screech, and Screech is a form of AoE threat. So like oftentimes if you ass pull some mobs or whatever, and you have a few on you, your pet just being able to Screech, it's gonna redirect all 3-4 mobs that you accidentally pulled onto your pet. And it can even be at the early levels, it can be strong enough, like if you get rank 1 multi-shot, that it'll be able to hold sometimes against mobs, which is your rank 1 multi-shot. And you're able to do like a little bit of cleave. So this is a really fantastic pet, and you can go, if you want to hard commit to like that carrion bird route, you can use this pet all the way up until like Desolace when you get the next rank of Screech. But for Alliance, it's pretty good because you're here obviously, and it's something I do every time when I level Alliance hunters. But even for Horde, it's not that bad. You just basically take the Zeppelin to Gromgal, and you swim up this coast. And it probably takes you 15 minutes or something to go from Gromgal all the way here. I can get over there. It's not that bad of a swim. You just AFK, go make yourself a sandwich or something, and then before you know it, you're at Gromgal's right here, right? And before you know it, you're up at Westfall. So that's another amenity of the zone. You obviously have like all the Dead Mines quests are pretty iconic. As far as vendors go in the zone as well, we talked about the Mud Snapper guy. There's a vendor over by Farmer Saldine, but I don't think it really has anything good. There's also a vendor here in Moonbrook, and it sells. This is where Alliance get those first really juicy green BOEs. So on Horde they sell it in Ratchet, or Ratchet, right? And I'm talking like the Feral Boots of Agility, like the +5 juicers. This is the vendor here. It's also just a nice place to, if you need to run Dead Mines or something and you're like maybe resetting the dungeon, you can just run here in vendor and clear out inventory space, because Westfall's pretty hard on your inventory. But this guy sells Rage Pot recipe. He also sells all like that first tier of green items, right? So I think it sells Wolf Bracers with the +5 stam. He sells like the Feral Boots with the agility, all those type of things. So that's a nice upgrade when you're a low level. You can generally afford to buy those, and like getting 5 stats at like level 14 is like massive, right? So that's this vendor here. I want to say there's another vendor. Oh, it might be faster to do this. So we go this way. There's also another vendor down here. Yep, right here. So this is a fishing vendor. And you might think, why would I ever want to go to this guy? Well, he sells a slither skin recipe for cooking. It's I don't know what the dish is called, but it's not sold in Stormwind. So if you guys know leveling, fishing, and cooking at the same time is Biss, right? This is super good, like cost effective. You can go like the whole way with it, but you need to go to this guy to get the recipe because Stormwind doesn't sell it. So then you can fish right here, and you fish up the slither skin, and then you cook it. So yeah, that's why you would want to go to this guy. Also, looking at this lighthouse, there's a couple cool quests here from this Captain Grace Verdason. And that one gives you a torch, which is a pretty fun like RP item, but it's also useful like if you play with adjusted lighting settings. Sometimes things are too dark, and if you're trying to do skips, like the one that comes to mind is if you're doing like a BRD skip and you're trying to jump over that area you're supposed to unlock. It's hard to explain, but you jump out of the window to reset the mobs, right? And you do a couple skips to jump on top of the tunnel, and you walk across. Like that area can get really dark, and if you don't have a flare, like it's actually hard. Like you have to go into your settings and crank the brightness all the way up. But if you can whip out, Grace Verdason's torch, it's like a mag light in game. It illuminates the whole area. It makes a huge difference, and you can make those skips a little easier. Also, we got Brack. We got J. Allen Brack. Rare spawn another one. We're getting all the... we're playing Pokemon Snap out here today, guys. But yeah, I mean, these quests are actually available to Horde as well. So if you're Horde and you do Dead Mines, like Dead Mines can be very nice for you as Horde. If you're a hunter, you can really hit multiple birds with one stone. If you're an Orc hunter, you come up here, you get the pet, the level 17 carrion bird, right? You crank out these 2 quests, which are super easy. You just kill the named guy, like Merc, whatever his name is, Merc Deep or whatever, who's like padding up and down here. 2 really free quests. You go do dead mines. It doesn't take too long. It's not a huge like no time loss or efficiency loss to come here. So thinking about the other quests in the zone, yeah, the whole Defias quest line with the trader is pretty good XP per hour. There's some kill quests for the looters and pillagers. This is one of the most dangerous spots in the game. Obviously, these guys have claimed so many souls. But another cool thing is there's actually an anvil or a forge in here if you want to smelt stuff. This is dope. This is like a little out in the field forge opportunity. Also, as far as rare spawns go, we talked about Voltros. He's a giant carrion bird that drops a level 21 BOE blue dagger. I forgot the name of it, but it's really cool. It's like this huge bird that it looks out of place in the zone. Also, one cool thing about Westfall is that it changes at night. Some zones are like this, not just Westfall. Like, for example, this area right here with the carrion birds, something happens to it. I think they become ghouls or something. Someone can help in the chat remind me, but I'm pretty sure these become ghouls, and there's actually a rare spawn over by the not Django load mine. It's the mine that's over here. Yeah, this mine right around here. There's a ghoul. So I think it's right here. Yes, dude, it's right here. These tombstones. There will be a ghoul that spawns here at night, and he drops a really good sword. And it's only during like 8 p.m. server plus that he spawns. Also, other amenities of the zone is these knolls. Any knoll you drop has a chance to drop like healing herbs that restore health. And I believe the good thing about those is that you can use them in tandem with food to heal faster. So not really something you want to go out of your way for. But now that we're on the subject of knolls, this is like where mages, when they get Arcane Explosion at 14, this is where they can really start cooking and do AoE grind. Either solo, or it's a little more chill if you do it in a duo. It's a little safer, but you can do it solo. You know, the equivalent on Horde side is like doing Savannah Lion packs in the Barrens. So, I mean, hopefully this type of video is making sense to you guys. We're already 17 minutes into the video, and we're like, I feel like we're not even scratching the surface with doing this zone justice. Like, this is vanilla WoW for you. This is why this game is so goated. Like, all the zones, even the ones that, you know, to the untrained eye, to the noob, to the novice playing vanilla, they just pass over it. They're like, I don't like that zone. There's so much depth. There's so many reasons to go to each zone again, even at level 60. You know what I mean? So, anyway, like, yeah, mages can AoE these knolls. There's also, like, just my mind is racing, dude. Another rare spawn, Sergeant Brashclaw. This guy drops something good too. He's a knoll. Yeah, he's right here. I believe he drops a weapon as well. I think he actually drops this axe right here that he's holding. So it's just another thing. But check this out. So also, speaking of AoE grinding and XP per hour, there's a crab area right here, and this is like a hyper spawn of crabs. So this has been tech on multiple, like, you know, private servers, and I think on like SOM and SOD people have done it too. But if you're trying to boost up alts or boost up friends, there is a line where you go here to the crab hyper spawn and you just start like massacring these things, and they'll be dropping like clam meat and stuff like that too, I believe. And that clam meat you can cook, and also that fisherman vendor over there sells a recipe for the clam meat that drops from these crabs. So just another thing if you wanted to build the car that way. And then also moving up over here on the next stop of Pokemon Snap is Linen Hyper Spawn, is what we called it on hardcore. It is right. It is right. Stand by, stand by. Stand by. We're getting there. I know this part of the video is a little bit scuffed for some people, but this is really honestly the only way I'm gonna be able to get this stuff out without having to worry about editing and spending a time to make these. So I appreciate your patience. There's a spot with the Defias. I'm just gonna head over there and we'll just keep talking and I'll show you. I believe it's right by the Gold Coast Quarry. Actually, yeah. This is the first clue of Captain Sanders' treasure map as well. playing this game 20 years, by the way. But I'm gonna show you it right now. We're gonna head over there. There is a linen hyper spawn where the Defias are hyper spawning, and you can just kill them. And if you need linen for some reason, for first aid, for engineering, or if you're just duo leveling with a buddy and you're kind of like lazy and you don't feel like questing, and maybe you need to catch up on some XP, or whatever the case might be. I've done like duo leveling runs with Ampi where we like tested the XP per hour of this spot, and it was really good. Like I think in his mind he still thought it was faster to quest, but it was in like the same ballpark, you know. And you're getting a ton of items. Maybe you can go do the linen hyper spawn. I see the windmill over there. Yeah, it's over there. And then you just go vendor real quick and do a couple laps. Also, speaking in terms of like herbs and mining, there is like mage thorn or whatever it's called here, which will drop swift thistle, which is huge for like swiftness spots and stuff like that. There is briar thorn here. So this is that tier 2 herbalism spot that can take you a long way. You still get some peace bloom, you still get some stuff like that, but here's the hyper spawn. This is what I'm talking about right here. So this windmill. These guys, if you just kill them, they will come back. If you just kill them fast enough, there will always be one up. You know. So this, and then they drop linen, all that good stuff. So yes. And then as far as mining goes, and if you want to stay in Westfall for as long as possible, you can come. If you're really trying to milk Westfall, you're vibing here. These are the highest level mobs in the zone. Down here, these knoll camps. So these guys are like 18s, you know. And you could, if you really love Westfall and you're vibing and it reminds you of your childhood, you could stay here, you know, up until you're in your 20s, you know, like 21, 22 if you really want to. And there's also these other mobs up in the hills that these Defias guys, like the knuckle dusters and stuff like that, are high level as well. Oh, I saw a node as well. So, and this area is good for leveling mining because there's tin. And you guys know the bottleneck with mining is getting to 125 so you can hit iron. So staying ahead of that is super important. So you can grind these in the knolls if you're really trying to stretch Westfall. There's no more logout skips. They took them out, so I don't really want to get into logout skips. But, you know, reasons to come here is a level 60. Most important reason would be magic dust. Second reason maybe would be for like boosting alts and stuff like that, running them through dead mines or boosting them at one of the hyper spawn locations. So like pretty much you would try to do 40% damage on the boosty, and then you would finish it off with your main, and it will get full XP from it. But I think that's it, guys. I don't know if I missed anything. Please put it down below in the comments. And just express your love and appreciation for Westfall and why you like this zone. There's one more harvest golem. Okay, the other rare spawn here is a harvest golem. Named Foe Reaper 4000, I believe. It's just like a Hearthstone card. And he drops a 10-slot bag. He can be in a couple of the different fields. I think this is the main field that he's at. It's not over at Saldine's farm. But yeah, this is the field I believe he's at. He's a black golem, and he has a chance to drop a 10-slot bag. So again, like if you're just playing multi-life and you have a main and stuff like that, it's you know, 10-slot, not a big deal. But if you're playing hardcore solo self-found, like that's a huge deal. Picking up a 10-slot bag at an early level, he's not that dangerous or anything like that. So yeah, that's the other rare spawn. But if we missed anything at all, definitely like comment it down below. I'm curious to get your guys' feedback on why you like Westfall. I think it's a beautiful zone, a zone that people give it a hard time. People feel like it's annoying, but I promise you, if you know all the quests here, if you have them memorized, if you know where to look for the oat bags like this, if you know how to work in all the quests, it can be a very efficient zone, and you'll end up just sort of feeling like, man, I wish I had more time here, because it's just listen to the music, man. Listen to the soundtrack. Yeah, gorgeous. Gorgeous zone. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know how we can improve these videos. It's 24 minutes talking about Westfall. I don't know. If you guys, if you go, be honest with me. If you don't like these videos, if you think it's a waste of time, let me know. Because I can do other stuff too. We can just talk about classes. We can talk about, you know, reasons to play vanilla or whatever. But my goal is to actually do some videos as well as live streams, to try to do both. But I don't want to spend too much time on videos as well. Like I want to strike that balance where we get them out on a daily basis even. So thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. I'll be streaming today in a couple hours. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you want to recommend another zone that we do next, pick any zone you want, and we'll do it next. Have a good one, guys. Take care.